Hello everyone, Martin Butler here again. I just looked at my YouTube channel and I realised that I've not actually done a live one-to-one video talking to you since January. That's 3 months ago. I've done other videos, obviously, a few adverts and a few tutorial. I've actually been very busy. My son has just got married last weekend and I've actually been quite ill as well. I've had a viral infection of some sort, I don't know what it is. But obviously I've still been dealing with my students and people who are actually moving forward, and people who are buying the course and actually realising that this isn't a get-rich-quick business to get into. Now, I'm finding that people are getting very sort of confused with all the clever, slick marketing that goes on and surrounds this type of learn how to work from home business opportunity, if you want to call it that. Now, I mean, for example, I get bombarded. I probably get about 300 to 500 emails a day, and also not so much through the post now. It's only your real top marketers who are taking the chances and actually got the money to spend doing direct mail shots, because, as you know, postage is actually quite dear. But most of the stuff I see in my inbox from even people I haven't subscribed to is how to get rich quick, follow this system. Someone who's just come into the game is making £10,000 a month on autopilot without doing a thing, this sort of stuff. Now, I see this all the time. Now, it's very easy to get dragged into the hype. It's like someone said, if you got an email saying that they can guarantee within 6 months that you're going to get 6 month numbers on the lottery, you're going to take a look at it. It's what they call using desire, using your desire to want to learn to break out of the rat race and to work from home, but using the carrot in front of you of easy, making out it's easy, and also saying that there's instant wealth. And it's not like that. What I also see, even from people who are doing my course or are getting my mentorship and training, is that there's so many different avenues of working from home. And one of the things I try to get across to people is choose your method of doing it and then concentrate on that method. What I tend to find, and this I think goes for everybody seeking business opportunity, get rich quick, work from home stuff, is that they learn a little bit about one way of doing things, they don't see any results, and they jump straight onto a different method of doing it. For example, someone might go down the road of creating a product or creating a DVD, an audio product, a CD product or whatever, put it out for sale and not make any money or make any real money, and as a result of that they then shift their focus onto possibly affiliate marketing, for example, or different methods of getting themselves online where they can generate quick profits. And what I will say is that when I first started, I started off with, you'll probably know if you go through my videos on YouTube, that I started off making simple information products on the DVD. That was my first introduction, real introduction, into learning how to operate a business from home. And I stuck with it. And I got better at it. I got better equipment. I learned how to use the editing equipment a lot better. And as you can see now, for example, what you're seeing here, this studio which I'm in now, is not a fancy big glam studio. It is basically in my living room, in the little corner of my living room, probably, I don't know, about 6 foot. The wall behind me is probably about 6 foot, and this half of the screen is what they call chroma key. It's a special effect which you can use in editing software. But again, it's learning how to do this. So when I first started off, I was standing in my my sun lounge in my first video with a set of curtains behind me, no special lighting or anything, no microphone, just using the microphone that was on the camcorder. And that was how I put out my first product. So what I'm saying to you is that find a method which you're interested in and then keep on with it and find out and then learn off of the successful people with that method. And bearing in mind, selling information products is a very, very profitable way of learning how to work from home, because you can compete with large companies just with a simple high definition camcorder, learning how to work a piece of software. Probably the one I use is Sony Movie Studio 9. That's the version I use, and that's what you're seeing this being filmed and edited on. And I do that, and I've learned how to work that software, and that software costs in the region of, I don't know, about £70, I think. So with a camcorder, £70, a couple of lights, I've got a couple of lights either side of me, which you can pick up obviously for about £20 to £30 each. They're very, very cheap. Although I do record my voice on a separate unit, I've got a little portable MP3 microphone recorder with a lead plugged into a little microphone here, rather than use the onboard mic on the camera. As you know, I mean, what I'm going to do now, I'll just show you a little test. I've done this before, but I'll just show you it now. I'm going to click my fingers, and then I'm going to let you hear the sound of the actual camera, the microphone on the camera. The camera's probably about 8 foot away from me at the moment. So watch this. Right, what I've done now, I've turned off this little personal microphone, as you can see there. And I'm just letting you talk. I'm talking to you now with the camcorder microphone, which is actually 8 foot away from me. And as you can say, I might have the set looking very nice behind me, for example, but the sound on the camera is no good at all. So when you're presenting yourself online in a video, like I'm doing here, for example, everything basically has to be right. Let's put that back. Right, we're back to normal now. And as you can see, I started off standing in front of some curtains in my living room with the onboard camcorder and the little microphone which you heard there. And now I'm at the stage now where I've got this super looking set behind me, which is pennies to make, believe me, it's actually pennies to make, and a HD camcorder, and learning how to put it all together in some editing software. So you can actually present yourself as a professional in any chosen niche. You could do question and answers, you could do a tutorial on how to do certain things. Making information products seemed to me the way for me to go, and that is how I started off. I've got some students now who have done exactly the same as me and following the same lines and got their products out there on sale, and that is brilliant. But I also got some students who try to do a bit of filming. You see this all the time on YouTube. You look at their YouTube channel, not necessarily my students, I'm talking about people in general. They're sitting in their bedroom, they might have a door open behind them with a coat hanging over the end of it, and they're talking to a camera which has got the voice and the sound that I showed you earlier on. And they're sitting in front of the camera, for example, portraying themselves as an expert, and I see this all the time, as an internet marketing genius, where they're going to teach you, or me, how to earn thousands of pounds a month by doing their course. Now, you know it's rubbish. So basically, get your image right, choose your avenue, and then pursue it and get to the best you can. One thing I do see a lot of is overkill. Now, what I mean by that is, in the video game, because it is so easy to learn how to create a video, what the problem tends to be also, especially with these big internet marketers, where they're putting their adverts out or they send you to a web page and then you watch a video, they've got fantastic, you might have seen this yourself, movie presentation beginnings, probably about 15-20 second long, where there's space and there's letters flying in and there's crashes and thunders and words coming in and blah, blah, blah. And next thing you see is someone sitting there saying, hello, my name's blah, 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 I've got this fan. And it's overkill. You see that all the time. I see it all the time anyway, because I get loads of videos, I watch loads of videos and intros, and I get sent loads of stuff. And it's all overkill. All I've done with my video, as I said to you, is put a little intro at the beginning, which I'd created for me. That cost pennies to create. I've got my videos, which I provide the content with, as I'm talking to you now. And at the end of the video, there's just a little outro where I leave you possibly a web address to go to, or visit this, or comment and subscribe. That's all I say. So what I'm saying to you is that I've now perfected, as you can probably see, the art of making videos. That took time. It took trial and error, but I stuck with it. And as a result of that, once I'd done that and successfully got a few products out, what I did then, I then personally moved into other ventures, affiliate marketing, product development, where I had products created, software products, and sold on the internet. So I mean, my GuruBot Pro product, for example, I mean, I never created that, but I knew what I wanted to do, and I see someone else who was doing that successfully, and I basically mimicked the formula, had someone create a similar product, rebranded it my own way because it was my own product, and then I was selling that for, I think it was £47. That was about 3 years ago now, I can't remember exactly the time, but I now give that away for free, that GuruBot Pro software, and I've basically got that as a list generation thing now. So once there's other products out there now which do what my product does with a little bit more whistles and bells on. I didn't want to develop it further. I had a developer who, when there was people who had, although I've got tutorial videos, I had people who was wanting to learn how to install it. They couldn't install the software properly, and I used to have to spend time doing that because the developer who I had, which I got from Elance, basically started letting people down. So rather than me find a new developer and invest more money in upgrading the product, all I do now is basically I just give it out free for someone to leave their first name and email, and that again generates a list for me. So all I'm saying is find your formula, find what you want to do, and then pursue it. And that is what I'm saying. Too many people spread themselves thin. They go into one avenue, they think, oh, this ain't quite as easy as I thought it might be, and they try something else, affiliate marketing, for example. What you've got to ask yourself, and the way I looked at this, and this is probably what made me succeed as well, is that I wanted to evaluate why I wanted to work from home. So it wasn't about get rich quick. It wasn't about earn £10,000 a month. Those wasn't my motivations. My motivations, when I was sitting at work on a night shift, for example, as I'd done for years and years, sitting there 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, thinking to myself, what am I doing here with people I don't really know? These ain't the people. I spend my life with these people, the people at work. You spend more time with them than you do with your own family. And that rung true to me as I was getting a bit older. So my reasons was to be with my family more, not to be told what to do by idiots. I like to control my own destiny, basically, and be basically free to do what I want to do in my life. As you know, between the hours of 9 to 5 or 7 to 7, whatever shift you do or whatever work you do, you're at the beck and call of whoever pays your wages, basically. You can't do what you do. You have to ask when to do this, when to do that. Can I have half hour off? And also, not only that, also when you actually feel sick and you're at home or you're not very well, you feel obliged to go in sometimes. This is what happened to me loads and loads of times. Just to show them that you are ill. Because if you just phoned up, for example, this happens, especially when you work in the sort of a building environment as I did, you know, like in offices and where you've got managers and under managers and supervisors, blah, blah, blah. It's very easy for them to look down at you thinking that you're pulling the wool over their eyes. In other words, that you wasn't really sick at all. Now, sometimes I went into work just to show them that I was sick so that I'd get sent home. Because of the way certain people at work used to make you feel when you used to go into work and they think, oh, there's nothing wrong with you. And there's a whole... So it's a distrusting thing, basically. And I didn't like all that, and I thought I'd live my life like that, and I didn't want none of that. I wanted to be in control of my destiny, and I wanted to say, if I got up in the morning and I didn't want to do a bit of work, or I didn't want to do something by 10 o'clock, I wanted to leave it to 11, or even the next day. I wanted to be able to do that without being questioned. Anyway, those were my goals. Obviously, there are sacrifices to be made, and this weighed on my mind as well. My sacrifices was obviously having a regular wage come in. As sure, money in my account, every month, wages. Wages needed to pay the mortgage, to pay the bills, this, that, the other, whatever. That was what I was going to have to sacrifice. Sick pay. When I was off sick, I had a certain amount of sick pay which I was allowed. So again, this was another factor which I'd never been without before. I'd never been without regular wages. I'd never been without sick pay. And also a pension scheme. How much money are we going to have when I retire? Blah, 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 whatever. So these are the trade-offs which... For me to learn how to do this business, I was going to have to sacrifice. So before I actually jumped in and started sort of learning this business, the things that I didn't want in my life, as I mentioned at the beginning, and also the sacrifices I was going to have to make, I wasn't going to mess about here. I wasn't going to be taken in, although I had been in the past, by these get-rich-quick people, oh, learn it in your spare time stuff and all that. Sure, you can learn this business in your spare time, but you do need mentorship. You need to go in with your eyes wide open, understanding that most of the stuff out there is rubbish, which I've fallen for in the past, so I'm not blaming anyone who has fallen for that. The sort of people who come to me are people who have wasted money in the past in this sort of business or trying to find a way out of this business. I don't tend to see many newcomers because they're taken in by the hype which they see. Newcomers sort of who've just started to look into this business, they actually believe the marketing by these people saying that you can earn £10,000 a month and, you know, we'll do it with business in the box and we'll do it all for you. I remember being at seminars before where the big gurus on stage are telling audiences of 4,000 people, when I was one of them, that I'm going to do everything for you. I'm successful. I've got a team of people. We'll build your business. We'll set it up for you. We'll run it. All you've basically got to do is pay us £5,000 and we'll hold your hand. And if you get any problems, you ain't got to sell anything, we do it all for you. Now, that should set alarm bells ringing. Loads of people jumped up and run down the hall, as I've said before in one of my other videos, to subscribe to this. You won't get that here. So basically what I'm saying to you is once you find your method, which you're interested in, whether it be, there's many ways to work from home, product development, making information products, affiliate marketing, even running a little home business, a home shop. You might even have a home business or a shop where you want to take it online, for example. You might have a skill or a trade. anything like that, where normally to set yourself up in business in the high street costs thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of pounds. You might even have a failing shop in the high street. You might have a business where you might be a man in a van in your local area, for example. Get yourself online, get yourself a website sorted out, learn how to market yourself with simple videos. This is another business model which I've been exploring over the last year, and I'm actually helping local businesses out now. And it's not only about that. So when they type in whatever their business in and their town they're in, sure, they're there on the first page in Google, for example, in the search engines. Not only that, the other people who are there with them, they don't necessarily need the top places, but you need to be registered in things like Google Maps if you are a business. Not only if you've got a business, I mean, sure, there's other pieces of software that pick up local businesses and advertise them on their own personal websites as like review type sort of thing. But you really want your own presence online. It's very simple to be able to do that. So whether you've got an online business, whether you want an online business, whether you've got an offline business which you want to take online, if you've got a skill, if you've got a desire to break out of the rat race and start to learn how to work from home one step at a time, you won't do any worse than looking at my Online Empire Builder DVD set, which is on my website address, which is www.ukinternetmarketingschool.com. That's the new web address which I'm trying to promote now. They're all, if you go to ukims.com, for example, that will take you there as well. I've recently upgraded my website to a new WordPress site, which I think you'll find it's a lot cleaner in lines, and it's also a lot more search engine friendly. I'll show you stuff like this in the future, how to do this and the best way to do this. And for anyone who's interested about my new website, for example, that website was created with a free theme. An actual free theme, didn't cost a penny. So everything you see on my web page is basically comes from a hosting account, which I get for $9 a month. I think my hosting account is $9 a month with HostGator, who I totally recommend. And the price of a domain name, for example, which is, I don't know, $6 to $8 a year. So that and knowing how to put it all together, which is basically the bottom line, that is my shop window. And I can show you how to do the same with certain pieces of software, like Excite Pro 2, for example, great piece of software. But point is realise what you want out of life, and then start to move towards it one by one. Now, I'm not going to go on any more now. I've got a few more videos I want to do. If you want to talk to you a lot more this year, I'm going to have a busy month over the next month or two, because my daughter's now getting married, and I've got to play a more active role in that, walking down the aisle and all that. So, hope to speak to you soon anyway. Thanks very much. This is Martin signing out. Thanks very much.